Most people still believe the same dangerous lie that if you work hard enough, you'll eventually become rich. You won't. Hard work can make you tired. Hard work can make you respected. Hard work can even make you successful in the eyes of other people, but hard work almost never makes you rich. Because wealth is not built by effort, it's built by ownership, leverage, cash flow, and systems that keep paying you after the work is done. That's the part almost nobody teaches you. From childhood, you were trained to believe that effort equals reward. Study hard, work hard, stay late, be reliable, do more than everyone else. And one day, supposedly, the money will come. But if that were true, construction workers would all be millionaires. Nurses would be rich. Restaurant owners who work 14 hours a day would all be wealthy. The hardest working people in the world would be financially free. But they're not, because hard work creates income. It does not automatically create wealth. And if you don't understand that difference, you can spend 20 years grinding and still end up broke. Here's the brutal truth. There are two money games. The first game is labor. You trade time, energy, attention, and stress for money. You work, you get paid. Stop working, the money stops too. That's not wealth, that's rented survival. The second game is leverage. You build or own something once, and it keeps producing value repeatedly. A business, content, software, assets, distribution, equity, cash flow machines. This is where rich people live, not because they work less, but because their work compounds. That's the difference. Poor people and middle-class people are often taught to maximize effort. Rich people learn to maximize output per unit of effort. That single shift changes everything. A hard worker asks, "How can I do more?" A wealthy builder asks, "How can this work without me?" That question alone can change your life. Because if your income depends on your constant presence, you don't own freedom. You own a job, even if it pays well. And that's why high-income people still stay trapped. They think more money means more progress. But if every dollar still depends on your next hour, like you're not rich, you're just expensive. This is why some people work 80 hours a week and still feel poor. And other people work 10 focused hours on the right system and get paid for years. It's not fairness, it's structure. The market doesn't reward who suffers the most, it rewards what scales. That's why hard work is such a dangerous religion, because it feels noble, it feels safe, it feels moral, and it makes you emotionally attached to effort itself. You start believing that suffering should be rewarded, that sacrifice should automatically become wealth, that if you just keep grinding long enough, the system will eventually notice you. It won't. The system loves hard workers because hard workers are predictable, easy to manage, easy to replace, easy to keep busy. The world doesn't pay you more because you're exhausted. It pays you more when your output becomes difficult to replace. That usually comes from one of four things: ownership, leverage, scarcity, or distribution. If you don't have at least one of those, you are probably underpaid, no matter how hard you work. So let's break this down. Here's why hard work alone keeps people poor. 1. Hard work is linear. Wealth is exponential. If you work twice as hard, you might make twice as much. Maybe, but wealth is not built by doubling effort. It's built by creating something that multiplies without doubling your time. A salary is linear. A product is scalable. A service is limited. A system can expand. That's why hard work feels productive, but often creates no escape velocity. You get better at surviving, not at exiting. 2. Hard workers are often rewarded with more work, not more freedom. This is one of the biggest traps in modern life. The more reliable you are, the more responsibility you get. The more responsibility you get, the busier you become. The busier you become, the less time you have to build leverage. So your reward for being good is becoming too occupied to escape. That's a trap. And millions of people live inside it. 3. Hard work makes you emotionally loyal to the wrong game. This is the invisible trap. If you've spent years being praised for effort, you start identifying with being the person who works the hardest. That becomes your identity. And once effort becomes identity, leverage feels like cheating. Delegation feels lazy. Systems feel impersonal. Ownership feels risky. So you keep choosing effort, even when effort is no longer the right move. That's not discipline, that's conditioning. 4. Hard work often delays skill stacking in the right direction. Being busy is not the same as building. A lot of people work incredibly hard, but they work hard at things that don't scale. They become better employees, better assistants, better operators, but not better owners. And if your skill stack is built around helping someone else's machine, you can become extremely valuable without ever becoming wealthy. 5. Hard work can hide the real problem. You don't own anything. This is the most painful truth. You can be smart, reliable, respected, exhausted, and still be broke. Because if you don't own an asset, a platform, a business, a product, equity, or a cash flow system, you're still building someone else's future. And the market eventually makes that obvious. Now here's the shift. If hard work doesn't make you rich, what does? Not laziness, not fantasy, not quitting your job tomorrow and pretending you're an entrepreneur. The answer is this. Hard work still matters, but only when it is attached to leverage. That's the rule. Hard work is fuel. Leverage is direction. Without direction, fuel just burns. So here's the Roxy rule. Never work harder before you ask what this work can become. Can it become content? Can it become a system? Can it become an asset? Can it become a product? Can it become distribution? Can it become equity? If the answer is no, you may still do it, but you should stop pretending it will make you rich. Because the goal is not to avoid work. The goal is to stop doing work that dies the moment you stop. That's how most people stay stuck for decades. They keep improving the engine without ever changing the vehicle. So here's a simple framework. The 70-30 wealth rule. Spend 70% of your serious work energy on stable income. Spend 30% building leverage, not consuming, not researching forever. Building, something that can pay you twice, then 10 times, then without asking your boss for permission. That 30% changes lives. That's how you escape slowly. Not by gambling, not by motivational quotes, by shifting part of your effort from labor into compounding assets. And here's another rule. One escape asset at a time. Don't try to build 5 things. Pick one. One content engine, one product, one service with leverage, one audience, one asset class. Build one thing that can outlive your direct effort. Then build the next. Most people fail because they try to be productive everywhere. Rich people often win because they become dangerous in one scalable lane. And finally, remember this. The market does not care how hard your day felt. It does not care how tired you are. It does not care how much you sacrificed. It only cares about the value created and whether that value can scale. That's the brutal truth. Hard work can build character. Hard work can build discipline. Hard work can build skills. But by itself, hard work almost never builds wealth. Because wealth belongs to people who stop selling effort and start owning outcomes. So if you've been working harder every year, but your life still feels the same, ask yourself one question. Am I being paid for my effort? Or am I building something that keeps paying me? That question might be the difference between another decade of grinding and your actual escape. If you keep worshiping hard work, you'll become excellent at survival. If you learn leverage, you might finally become rich. If this changed the way you think about money, subscribe. Because the next step isn't working harder, it's building smarter. And that's how ordinary people stop being trapped and start becoming dangerous.